Libra, and welcome to your December 2017 love reading with Divine Love Tarot. I want to thank you so much for joining me today. I want to apologize that your readings are up so much later than everybody else. I'm sorry. It's just a very hectic, busy time. But I'm here now. We're here. So let's go ahead and get into your reading. I've already laid the cards out. I like this going forward. I think I'm just going to do this. It's, I don't really need to shuffle and deal in front of you because we're going to get the same cards. We're going to read what we're going to read anyway, right? So let's get right into it. The card that represents your current energy right now, Libra, is the Two of Swords in the reverse. Okay, so Two of Swords in the reverse. That represents that you might be letting go of something, okay? You might be seeking the truth. You're ready to see things for what they are, all right? So things are being brought out into the open. Things are being put on the table. You're ready to move forward with things, whether that is solving a problem in a relationship or moving a relationship forward past the level of stagnation, okay? I'm going to go ahead and clarify that, and we get the Queen of Wands in the reverse, okay? So the Queen of Wands, that represents some type of stagnation. So you guys might have been going through a period where things have been stagnant. I see that also coming from the past energy with the Chariot in reverse. So the Queen of Wands, there's been a lack of movement in this particular relationship or situation, or in your love life. Okay, the Queen of Wands also represents someone who can be very dramatic. Okay, they can be overly jealous, possibly even a gold digger. If this represents a person, they could be a Pisces or an Aries. Okay, so you might be dealing with those two zodiac signs. If not, it's just a period in your relationship where things were not really progressing. Okay, now crossing this current energy of stagnation is the Two of Pentacles in the upright. So that means that it's time to make a decision, right? Two of Pentacles represents finding balance. So either you're going to have to make a decision on where to rebalance. You're going to have to rebalance your energies, okay? So right now your energy is stagnant. Maybe you've been focusing all on one particular direction, and now you're going to have to rebalance your energies, okay? Whether that be with your work life and your relationship, with your work life and your love life, within your relationship, focusing all your energies towards a particular issue, and then other parts of the relationship has suffered because you've only been focusing on one particular part. So the Two of Pentacles shows up now, saying that basically it's time to find some balance, okay? That it's great that you are the Two of Swords in the reverse. It's great that you guys are opening up and ready to seek the truth, but you can't take things to the extreme. You can't go all the way to one direction, okay? You have to maintain some type of balance in your life, in your relationships, okay? With your partner if you're in a relationship. Okay. Also, with the Two of Pentacles, it can indicate that things have become routine, and that may be a challenge for you. Okay. The challenge is to break up the routine. Maybe that's what's leading towards the stagnation, is that you've just gotten into the, after you get out of that honeymoon phase of the relationship, things kind of settle into a routine. And if you don't make that constant effort to make things interesting or keep things kind of, fun and alive, everyone has the routines, jobs, we have lives, we have careers, we have family, we have children, we have other things that take our attention away from just being, this happy, loving, bubbly couple. And if you let those other things constantly set in, then you just become in the habit of always following a certain routine. I wish I would say another word, but it's just a routine. And so now it's maybe time to change things up. Okay, that's what the Two of Pentacles is crossing, this awakening, this opening up, this readiness to move forward. It's like you're ready to move forward, but at the same time you feel like you move forward into what? How do you move the relationship forward when you guys are stuck in this routine? That is your challenge for my couples. For my singles, your challenge is to balance probably your work life with your social life. Okay, it's like you're ready to get out there and meet people, but then, it's the end of the year. Maybe you've got a lot of deadlines. Maybe you've got a lot of things that you're trying to tie up, loose ends you're trying to tie up at work. But if you're, like, once again, if there's no balance between your life and your work life and your, social life or your love life, then something's going to suffer. So that's also your challenge as a single, is to find that balance within the different aspects of your life. Okay, moving on to the past position, I mentioned the Chariot in reverse. So this, once again, speaks of stagnation. It speaks of a time when things weren't necessarily moving forward. It could be even a possible break in the relationship, or just a time where neither partner was putting any effort into the situation. All right, so from your relationship, that could be for you. If you're single, it was just a time where there was nothing going on. You probably weren't dating. There was no one there. Your love life was just kind of stale. Okay, so now you're trying to rectify that, and you're seeing where, your challenge is probably where you focus your energy, whether it be work or whether it be your hobbies or your activities, whatever it is that's causing you to not have time for yourself, or not to, to not have time to create that kind of intimacy that you actually want in your life. Okay. Moving on to the future, we have the Five of Cups in reverse, okay, which also represents coming out of stagnation. The Five of Cups in the reverse represents that disappointments are fading, sadness is fading. If you were hurt or, feeling depressed, that's also fading. The Five of Cups in the reverse can represent a possible reconciliation. Okay, so if there was a break in a situation, if there was a break in a relationship, then forward in the future, you guys may definitely reconcile. Okay. For some, though, it's more of a realization that you have a lot to be thankful for. Okay, it's realizing that you have these two full cups behind you, even though these three have spilled over here. So for some, you just realize that, you know what, you deserve to be happy in a relationship. Okay, this represents you knowing that there's more out there for you than your disappointments or the past that has disappointed you. Okay, so you're going in a certain direction now, Libra. Okay, it's like you're finally deciding. Okay, because I feel like with these two twos, you've got the Two of Pentacles and you've got the Two of Swords. So that's a decision, and I feel like it's an internal decision. It's not necessarily about a particular relationship. I just feel like you're deciding how you want to be going forward, or the kind of experience you want to have in your relationships or your love life going forward. Okay, so whatever time, this stagnant period where things were just dry, nothing was really going, or nothing was happening the way you wanted it to, I feel like that's coming to an end, and a new period of awakening is happening for you. Okay, where you are ready to love again, where you're opening yourself up again to the possibility of having love. Okay, go ahead. I want to clarify your future position. Ha ha ha, Ten of Cups. What am I saying to you? You're ready for it. You're ready for love. You're ready for happiness, okay? You want that, and you possibly have someone that you could have that love and have that happiness with. Okay, and that's the direction that you're moving towards. Libra, your readings have been very, you've been on the precipice, I think, for a while, okay? For my Libras that have been in relationships, you've been in a relationship where I feel like no one's really taking the reins, and it's almost like a Chariot in reverse type situation where the horses are just running amok. The Chariot has no direction because no one is taking the lead in the situation. And so sometimes things are okay, and then sometimes they're just disappointing. Okay, but no one's really stepping forward and saying, okay, we're going to do this, or we need to do this going forward. You're just kind of stuck in that situation. All right, so I feel like now going forward, you're no longer going to settle for the status quo. I think you're going to be more determined, or more directed, I should say. The energy for this situation is going to be more directed. Okay, it's not just going to be all over the place. Now, what you want, in the what you want position, we have the Lovers in reverse. Okay, so that's kind of strange, but I feel like what that's saying to us is you kind of want a situation where it could be some sort of fantasy, okay? The lovers in reverse can you might be fantasizing the past, okay? You might be fantasizing maybe a past lover or just how things used to be at a certain time in your relationship. Okay, so it's not necessarily, for some of you, it could be a Gemini, but for others, I feel like it's just a certain time or a certain phase or a certain feeling that you want within your situation that you're kind of like dreaming of. Because the 10 of Cups can also represent fantasizing. All right, so maybe you're more in your head, and maybe that's what this Two of Swords in the reverse is, and this Two of Pentacles. It's time for you to get out of your head. So it's time for you to just kind of like get out of your head and direct that energy, all that energy that you're directing towards your thoughts, direct it into action to make this actually happen. I'm over here doing all types of hand movements, but you can't see. All right, so moving on to your internal factors, we have the Empress in reverse. Okay, so for some of my Libras, I feel like you in this, I don't think this is the first time you've gotten this. I could be wrong, but I don't think this is the first time you've gotten this card in this position. But you're not feeling the love, okay? You're feeling neglected. You're feeling like you're in need of some nurturing. You're in need of some love. You might even be in need of some type of sexual healing, okay? That's what you're over here fantasizing about. There's a certain type of connection. There's a certain type of intimacy that you want within your relationships or within the particular relationship that you're in that has been lacking, and you're really yearning for that. Okay, so I feel like once again, that's the direction now that you're going to move into because you're tired of wanting. You're tired of being in that situation where you're just wanting and wanting, but you're not ever really consistently getting satisfied. And the 10 of Cups represents emotional satisfaction, right? So you're moving towards that direction. For others, maybe some of you are even smothered. Okay, it could be quite the opposite. Maybe your partner is smothering you with too much attention, but maybe it's not the kind of attention you want. Okay, if you want more physical attention, but they're giving you more friendly, supportive type of attention, that could leave you lacking. So you feel smothered because it's not quite what you're looking for. All right, moving on to the advice for the reading, and we've got the Hermit card, okay? So the Hermit is basically telling you to, for my singles, the Hermit is about self-reflection, right? Of course. So it's more about following your intuition. Okay, so it's not necessarily a time to self-reflect anymore because I think you've done that. I think it's time to put that self-reflection into motion. Okay, everything that you've learned, everything that you have intuitively felt or that you feel intuitively, it's time to make moves based on your intuition. So within a relationship, I think that it's time for you to be the guide for the situation. Okay, I feel like this Hermit card is saying that, you have the tools to lead the situation. You have the tools to take the reins and guide your partner. Maybe, all this insightful information that you have now, and because you have taken the time out and thought about how things should be, maybe if you're the one to make it happen, then you need to go ahead and take those steps and stop leaving things up for chance. Okay, moving on. Excuse me, I have like the worst runny nose. I don't even know what's going on right now, so I'm just trying to not be sniffling all over the place. Okay, let's move on to the external factors. We have the Six of Cups. So I feel like the Six of Cups in your external environment could represent someone from the past who is coming back towards you. Okay, Libra. This could be somebody that you want to come back towards you. So if you're single, somebody's coming back from the past. Maybe somebody that even represents this 10 of Cups for you. That helps push you further into that direction that you want to go, then that's excellent. For my couples, I feel like maybe your partner is also reflecting back onto the time where things were better in your relationship. They're being a little bit nostalgic about how things used to be. For others, maybe you remind someone of somebody from the past. Okay, so let me go ahead and clarify this external position here And we have the King of Cups, okay? So the King of Cups, like I said, some of you may be dealing with a Pisces, all right? Maybe it's a Pisces that's coming back from the past for some of my Libras. Maybe you're in a situation with a Pisces that has been stagnant for a while, and you guys are just trying to take the steps to move it forward. And I will say something, and not like, again, I don't like to stereotype the signs, but Libra, if you are in a relationship with a Pisces, or someone who represents the King of Cups with that kind of shy, sensitive type nature, maybe you do need to take the lead, okay? Because the King of Cups is very passionate. They're very loving. They're very compassionate, but they tend to be slow. They tend to be shy. They also tend to be the type to kind of romanticize the situation from afar. So if you don't make that move, sometimes it might not happen. They might want exactly the same thing that you want, because it does seem that way. It seems like you both are reflecting on how things used to be at one point if you're in a relationship. So it's just going to take one of you to make that move, Libra, and I think that you're going to be the one who's going to make that move, or you should be the one to make that move. All right? Because now you're like, all right, enough. I've had enough. And if this person can really be your 10 of cups, it would be such a waste to let that go and let that stagnation just continue to linger in your situation, when you guys have all the potential to have the happiness that you are looking for, the happiness that you want, okay? To turn this Lovers upright, to turn this Empress card upright. You guys have it there. It's just about who's going to make the move. And Libra, why not make the move? If you know this person loves you, if you know this person cares about you, there's nothing here for you to lose. All right. For my single Libras, you may have someone who is a Pisces who's got their eye on you. Okay. And they may not be making a move. So if that person's in your environment and you're interested, you go ahead and make that move. Okay. Because who knows? Like I said, you have 10 of Cups here in that future position. So I'd definitely make a move towards that. Okay. Now, in your hopes and fears, you have the Five of Pentacles, okay? So basically, you're afraid of being disappointed. You're afraid of abandonment. You're afraid of winding up alone. And that's a typical fear, okay? It's totally understandable. But once again, you have the opportunity here to make a move in a direction that will bring you the happiness that you've been, like, basically wanting and yearning for a long time now. Okay, I've only been doing these online tarot readings for a few months, and I feel like within that time, Libra, you've been craving sexual passion. I remember it going back. You guys have been longing for and yearning for different things at different times within this relationship that is lacking for you. And I think that you are tired of that feeling. You're tired of feeling like you're in lack, okay? And you're afraid that that's going to happen going forward. So I think that you should definitely, if you can, make a move to make a change in your relationship if you're in a relationship. If it's just a situation where you're unsatisfied with your love life, it's your love life, okay? Definitely take the reins. Definitely start making some moves. And, move towards people who can give you the kind of relationship that you want, all right? Ending out the outcome card, we have the Page of Wands, okay? So the Page of Wands is energy, okay? We've got some energy. We've got some fiery, passionate energy coming back into the situation. For my couple, this can indicate that it's basically you're going to be moved to make a decision, okay? The page can represent messages. It can represent communication. So there may be some hot and heavy type of communication between the two of you. Somebody may decide to ramp up the passion within the situation, okay? If you're single, it might be somebody coming towards you, and it's going to happen really fast. You guys are going to be hot and heavy really quickly, all right? Because the Page of Wands, they are, of course they're coming in, but they're coming in quick. All right. And they could be adventurous. They could be like passionate, very exciting. So this is exactly what you've been looking for. I'm going to go ahead and clarify this outcome card again. And we have the Nine of Pentacles. So that can be a few things. Okay, the Nine of Pentacles represents someone who has it all, but there's something missing, right? So that could be the commitment. It could be an actual commitment in a relationship. So maybe this is a relationship where there hasn't necessarily been a title. Okay, there hasn't necessarily been a label put on there. There hasn't been a commitment, and maybe that's what needs to change. Okay, that's what needs to change. I'll go ahead and clarify that again. And we've got the Four of Pentacles in the reverse, okay, which represents opening up and letting go. So, you know what, Libra? If you are ready to move things in a certain direction with a person, or if you've been in a situation with someone and it hasn't really been moving, you guys are ready to move things forward, okay? Everything here shows that you guys are ready to move things forward and you're ready to move towards your happiness. Is commitment a part of that happiness? Maybe that's the decision that needs to be made, okay? With these two twos here in this reading, maybe that is the decision you need to make, okay? Well, being in a commitment, maybe the other person needs a commitment, okay? And they want a commitment and you don't, or vice versa. But you guys have to decide, is it the commitment that makes you happy, or is it actually how you guys behave and treat each other within the relationship? Okay, because I can tell you, there are plenty of people who are committed. Commitment does not equal happiness. All right, so we don't need to put too much pressure on these titles, but at the same time, if a commitment is the next step, you cannot keep prolonging that, okay? Because the other person is not going to just sit around forever, especially if there are other people and you never know who might be interested in that person. Okay, I'm just putting that out there. It has nothing to do with any of the cards. That's just me and my how I think and common sense and stuff like that. So, oops, sorry about that. Getting a phone call and it's coming through my computer. Okay, I'm back. So, sorry about that, but basically, I think I was wrapping up anyway. It just, that call kind of caught me off guard. I didn't realize it was going to ring through my computer like that. I was like, who's coming for me? It's like the final alarm. It's like, doo 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 doo. I'm like, oh no, what's going on? All right, so Libra, I feel like you single or in a commitment, in a no, let me not say commitment. Single or in a relationship, I feel like you have the opportunity to move things in a certain direction. I feel like for my relationship people, if you've been hesitant about making a commitment, I feel like there's no reason to fear that commitment. I feel like that will take your situation to the next level, and I really feel and I really see that you guys are going to be happy with it. Okay, so if you've been hesitant about making a commitment, I really think that you should just go ahead because, you know, if that's what your partner would make them feel more comfortable, then why not? Okay, if you've been in a very long-term situation, you know, take that final step and solidify things and lock things down. Okay, now for my other Libras, I think you might make a decision that you want to be single. If you have been in a situation where you have felt that you've been unnurtured and you have felt unloved and you just haven't been receiving the kind of connection that you want with this person, I feel like maybe somebody else from the past or a situation from the past is definitely on your mind, and you may take some time out and pursue being single, okay? And to see if you know if something else is out there for you. Maybe you've been afraid to be single, okay? So it's like a flip situation. There's some of my singles who have been in a relationship, but if I mean some of my couples who've been in a relationship but afraid to make a commitment. And I feel like some of you are going to, instead of making that commitment, you're going to decide to be single. It's like you're not going to fight that anymore. You don't want a commitment, and you realize that now, and you're going to go off and you're going to go and do your own thing. Okay, so that is the Libra December reading. I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope it resonated, or parts of it or any of it resonated for you. And if so, go ahead and let me know in the comments, okay? And remember, if you want a more personalized reading, if you want something that is specific to your situation, go ahead and contact me, okay? I've been doing readings for a lot of you guys, and keeping in touch and, doing multiple readings and seeing what's really going on. And it's been a really enjoyable experience for me. And I know for those who have been, coming to me for readings. So don't be afraid to hit me up. Email me at divinelovetarot@gmail.com. Love to hear from you guys. Enjoy your holidays. If you celebrate, if you don't celebrate your holidays, enjoy December. All right, Libra, I'll see you at the next reading. Bye.